I be in the zone. Gazing at the walls, depressed, digging the bone. They take it personal, but only your mind of you could understand what a nigga feeling. 41st till I die, motherfuckers. I'm still breathing you with mud, so we full bread. You ain't my dog, trying to infiltrate the clique issue. I get with you, into that on a later note. We overdose every day to death, we so close. I'm trying to tell these cats, but I let them add out the drill gun. The seal guns play the hum, real sons. For you motherfucking hoes.
Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream. So let me first check if everything is working well. I also need to get my trading view up. So let's get trading view solved. Let's see. Trading view. Okay, looks like I need to make it a bit smaller and put it below. A little bit smaller. Like this. Like this. Okay. So that should be working. Let me see if the sound is working. It is. Great. Okay. So hello everyone, how are you doing? Hope everyone is doing well. If anyone has any questions or any chart requests, make sure you put it in the chat. I have my chat open on the side. So NFP today, it was the big thing, it was the big event. How we will structure this stream. So first I'm gonna cover I will cover the breaking news, macroeconomics, what is happening in the world. Then we will go through the two most important parts of trading, I would say. That is looking at the DXY, looking at the strength of the dollar, and looking at the stock market. Damn, we're just going up. So yeah, looking at the stock market and looking at the S&P 500. Or sorry, the DXY and the S&P 500. So let's get it started. The first thing we're going to take a look at is NFP. If we go to the 1 hour chart, okay, we're getting some reaction here. Here are the numbers. So here's the data. NFP is one of the most important, if not the most important news events that you can have in trading. So unemployment rate came in much better than expected. Non-farm payrolls, they came in much better than expected as well. See, the actual number beat the forecast, beat the previous number, actual number beat the forecast, also beat the previous number. So this is net bullish for the dollar, okay? So if we go to the dollar index, it is bullish for the US dollar, and it is bullish for the stock market. And definitely a big reaction. S&P 500 exploding higher. The dollar index went up, but then kind of mean reversion trade happened a bit later. Whoop. So, what else is going on in the world? Well, you have the tariff deadline. Okay, that's coming up. The 90-day tariff pause that Trump implemented is coming to an end. When will it end? 9th of July. Okay, so 9th of July is the due date for the 90-day pause to end. So we will see what will happen. It could be volatile. It could be a bit problematic. We know that tariffs are usually bearish for the dollar and bearish for the US stock market as well. That's at least what happened when they got announced. You know, if we take a look, this is the tariffs. This is tariffs. So major sell-off. Okay. Also, Israel and Iran crisis, that is kind of coming out of the spotlight. So that seems to be going well. There isn't, let's say, any escalation happening. There's no conflict escalation. So that is good for the markets. My net view on the markets is that the Fed, which is the central bank of the United States, will start cutting rates this year. Okay, they should start cutting rates this year. That is my forecast. That is what I'm personally betting on. That is the way I'm trading the markets. So 2 cuts are priced in. Okay, 2 rate cuts are currently priced in. And I think that can definitely happen by the end of the year. Maybe even 3 cuts, you know. So if you want to take a look when these cuts happen, let me show you how. So if I click on a new source, add source, we're going to add a new source and we're going to go to Edge Finder. Okay, so do this. So this is the Edge Finder, but if you go to the Fed Watch tool, here you can actually see by December there is a cut priced in. Okay, so that is the probability, 96.6% probabilities that rate cuts will happen. Okay, so currently we are at, let me just see July. Currently we are at 425 to 450. By December we could be all the way to 350 to 375. Okay, so that's it. What does this mean for the markets? It means a bearish US dollar, bearish DXY, and it means a bullish stock market, right? So when the interest rates go down, usually the underlying currency goes down as well, and the stock market starts trending to the upside. So that is also my long-term picture. I mean, the dollar has been just crushing lower, shooting lower with a lot of force. Let's see, from the peak to the trough, minus 12.7%. So that's extremely, an extremely big drop. And I think we can continue. To what level, you may be asking? well, I think this level could be hit. Okay, this is a nice level of support all the way from 2018, 2021. We could definitely go lower and hit that level. So that is my forecast. That is what I personally see happening. For the S&P, I think we're just gonna go up. Okay, I think we have been going up. I think we're just gonna continue going up. I have been looking for buy setups on the Nasdaq, but also on the S&P. They kind of follow each other. I've been looking at some levels of support, but we have just crushed through these levels. Okay, we never got that pullback that I need to get in on a buy setup. So that's kind of it. That is kind of it for the markets, what is happening. So that should give you a general picture. Wait just a second. That should give you a general picture, a general view of what is happening in terms of the dollar and in terms of the stock market. In terms of the yen, because I am a forex trader, so it's important to look at currencies. Yen is getting bearish, you know, getting bearish here on the daily, but overall it is a bit flat. Okay, I would say the yen is overall a bit flat. If I had to pick a direction, it would probably be a bit of a bearish one. Let me check the fundamentals. Takoyaki, since tomorrow is a bank holiday, how do you think gold will close this week? So we will do gold right after the Japanese yen currency index, and I'm going to give you my forecast. Fundamentals. Edge Finder, just let me quickly see the fundamentals for the Japanese yen. They are actually bearish. Okay, so the fundamentals are looking a little bit bearish for the Japanese yen. You can see here, JPY impact 37.5. So only 37.5% of the news is coming out bullish for the yen, which means most news is coming bearish, or most fundamental data. Let's see if NFP is here. Yeah, it is. Okay. So non-farm payroll, ADP, initial jobless claims, unemployment rate, wage growth, services PMIs came in right on the forecast. So looks like the dollar is a bit neutral, right? We are a little bit neutral on the US dollar. Okay. JXY, yeah. I think we can go to the bottom of the range. Okay. Maybe to this level. So we could just continue ranging around, to be honest. We could just continue doing this. That is definitely a possibility. Now let's take a look at gold. But before I do that, give me just 1 second and I'll... Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, tomorrow is a bank holiday. We will see. I think the Forex markets should still be open, but it's going to be low volatility. Okay, so the activity tomorrow in the markets is going to be very, very low. Gold, let me give you my analysis. So first, fundamentals for gold. Let's take a look. Top setups. Gold. Okay, so neutral. A bit of a neutral fundamental bias. I would say gold is a good hedge, okay? If you're thinking that there will be a crisis with tariffs, that there will be possibly further escalation between Israel and Iran, that there will be a problem there, then, or maybe like a meltdown on the stock market, so maybe like something like this, then you could buy gold as a very good hedge. Okay, gold is a great hedge against a massively risk-on environment. Technical analysis on the daily chart is looking very bullish, in my opinion. Looking very, very bullish. Seeing this trend line. Okay, it is getting respected every single time that we hit the trend line. It actually gets respected. Zooming out, I would say this is a massive uptrend. You know, I don't see any clear signs of stopping. As far as bearish pressure goes, here a little bit, but overall, I would say we are in a massive uptrend here on gold. I was looking for a buy setup, at least to take on my prop firm accounts. So maybe not on the personal account, but on the prop firm accounts, I want to take a bit more trades. Okay, I want to be a bit more active. So I want to be a bit more active on my prop firm accounts. So I was looking for an entry, possibly here. The first entry I was looking at was here for a possible retest of this level with a nice big stop loss. Then the price went up without me. Okay, so I missed that trade. Then I was looking for a break and retest of this little inside bar. Okay, like this, looking for a break and retest. That didn't happen either. Instead, we went up and we broke the high, unfortunately. We have now retraced. How do I think the week will close? Flat. Okay, a little bit flat on the week. I think we're going to close definitely somewhere in this area. I don't think, so let's see, Monday. Okay, from Monday, I mean, the week should close bullish. You know, if we look at the weekly chart, the week should close bullish, but I would not expect a lot of movement. I know that was your main question, so I would not expect, let's say, this to happen, you know, tomorrow. I would expect just flat price action on the 1 hour chart. That would be pretty much kind of chop in this area. Okay. Just a bit of choppy price action, not really going anywhere. And then next week, we could see a breakout, okay? Because my long-term analysis and my long-term forecast for swing trades is that gold does this. I think that is going to happen. I think that the probabilities are telling us that this could happen, and that's why I'm looking for buy setups. I'm definitely interested in gold. I have it on the watch list. What would I like to see personally? Well, I'm looking for entries on the 1 hour chart. Maybe if we go a bit lower, I can look for a buy setup like a flag or something like that a bit lower. I would prefer to get in a bit lower than trying to catch the price. So if the price does decide to go higher, and then no, not like that. If the price does something like this, let's say, and then I have to get in a bit higher, I don't think that's the best thing to do. I would still attempt a buy setup, so I would probably take a buy setup. But I would like to see gold go lower and then give me a setup, okay? So that I can get in, not in this area on the daily, but let's say somewhere in this area. I think this area works better, right? Especially with your risk to reward. Imagine you're getting here and then you're targeting the highs, let's say. So your first take profit is the highs. You have to have a very big stop loss. But if you can get in lower, like this, look what happens with the risk to reward, right? So your take profit is now much more efficient. Your stop loss is much more efficient. So you're getting a 2.1 to 1 risk to reward. But if you're getting in a bit higher, you're getting in a negative, or you're getting a negative risk to reward. So yeah, that's kind of my analysis. I'm bullish. I think this has the power to continue going up. Okay, let me just check the camera. Live streaming camera. Okay, everything seems to be working. Kundai wants US30. Okay, sure, no worries. But yeah, I'm bullish on gold. Actively looking for buy setups on the 1 hour chart. I love the uptrend. I think this is great. I think this is very powerful. And I do think that gold can actually continue going up, especially in the long term. US30. Okay, let's see. Final vote on the bill is still pending. Give me just 1 second to grab a glass of water. Okay. So, US30, super bullish, extremely bullish. Okay. I'm very bullish on this price. Fundamentals. Let's see. Dow Jones. Bullish as well. Okay, fundamentals are bullish. I was looking for entry setups. I had my alerts set. I was looking for a break and a retest. Okay, I was looking for a break and a retest. What I wanted to see was a breakout of this level and then a pullback. So we got the breakout, but I was looking for a pullback and then a buy setup like this. That is what I was personally looking for. Then the issue was that the price just went up without me. You know, massive explosion up. Some of the things that I liked at this point in price. Just a second. This damn iPhone, the iPhone is connected to the MacBook, so every single time there's a call, the whole MacBook starts to beep and explode. Hopefully the stream is still working. I'm gonna have to check that. Let me just quickly check that. Or if you guys can put it in the chat if everything is working well. Hopefully the stream... Okay, should be working well. So at this point, the Nasdaq was already at the all-time highs. Okay, the Nasdaq was already exploding up with a lot of force, while the US30 was still below the all-time highs. Okay, still below the all-time highs. Right there. See, these are the all-time highs. This was the current price. So, in my opinion, the US30 had a lot more potential to go up. To go up to this level, to hit that level. Let's say I got a trade like this, stop loss, somewhere here below the 20 EMA, you can do that, targeting the highs. You know, that's a pretty high probability trade. So that's why I really liked US30 on the 26th of June. Unfortunately, when this happened, there was no longer a trade opportunity in my opinion. Now the US 30 is at the all-time highs. It is probably going to break out of the all-time highs. The risk reward is no longer there. We are highly overextended. So I would much rather look for buy setups on the Nasdaq, right? Because they're pretty much at the all-time highs. They're both at the all-time highs. Russell, Russell is not at the all-time highs. So Russell right now may be a good play. Russell actually may be a good play to reach these all-time highs. But for US 30, summary, I was looking for buy setups. I was bullish. Right now, no longer looking for buy setups. We are too close to the highs. I'm still very bullish, but I would not be a buyer at these levels. I would not like to buy at these levels. I would prefer to get a pullback like this. But to be honest, if we got a pullback on the US 30, there would probably be a pullback on the Nasdaq as well, right? There would probably be a pullback right here. So I would much rather trade the Nasdaq, and I would much rather take a trade right here on the Nasdaq. Okay, so that is my thinking. Hopefully that is helpful to you. As I mentioned, Russell is still a pretty good opportunity. So US 2000, that is 2000 small cap US stocks. Okay, so to get to the all-time highs, it is still quite a journey. So around 10%, you know, the sell-off was pretty massive at around minus 31.2%. We have gained back a lot of the value, 32% up, but we still have quite a lot of room to go up to the all-time highs. So that is why I actually think, let me put this one on the watch list. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's see if we can retest this level also. Let's add an alert. Because the Nasdaq already went up a lot, right? The Nasdaq seems to be a little bit overextended. Just too high in the price. So I think a better opportunity could be the Russell. I've been watching Trader Nick, and I think he actually took a buy setup somewhere from these levels. So he is in quite a lot of profit. He's running quite a lot of profit. For me, the game plan would be to wait for the price to pull back a little bit to this level, okay, like this, then bounce, and then I would consider some buy setups on the 1 hour chart. Okay. So how could that look? A potential scenario. If we descend, go up, print the flag. Okay, that would be pretty high probability. Other than that, NJ, I have a buy setup. Okay. Let me see something. Okay. Let's do. Okay, so no flow. How do you spot consolidation and when it ends? I have a hard time with GBP/USD. I reached 75% win rate with 1 to 4 risk reward for a while, and then consolidation. Oh my god, those stats are super crazy. Those stats are super unrealistic. Okay, 75% win rate and a 4 to 1 reward to risk. It is not sustainable. That's very unsustainable. So you're talking about consolidations here and here. 6 trades a month. That's very unrealistic. You know, you're not going to be able to keep that up for let's say a full year. You know, you're going to get into drawdowns. It's just part of trading. How can you spot actual consolidations? Well, looks like you're using a purely technical analysis strategy, and that's a bit tough. I would say it's almost not possible to spot when the markets change to a consolidation phase, right? So when you're trending, you're taking buy setups, you know, like this, and when we're flat and corrective, you're losing all of your profits, I'm guessing. So I would personally say that consolidations are part of the game, and it's very tough to spot them, and you need to factor that into your trading statistics. Okay, so you need to do, if you can put it in the chat, did you do any backtesting? How much backtesting did you do? And what was the worst drawdown during that backtesting period? Okay, so if you can put that in the chat, and then we can take a look a bit, we can take a bit of a deeper look. But trading, in trading you have clusters of good luck and clusters of bad luck. So clusters of good luck for trend traders, this, here as well, meaning you're taking winners, you know, you're taking winning streaks. Clusters of bad luck, here, right there, another one, flat and corrective. So all of the money that you're making, you're basically losing in these consolidation periods. And very tough to spot when a consolidation happens, especially if it's a purely technical strategy. But what I would say first, I would lower my expectations, because 75% win rate with a 4-to-1 risk to reward is completely unsustainable. Okay, no successful trader that has been trading for, let's say, 5 years, no successful trader is gonna have that type of statistics. Realistic statistics are this, let's say, win rate around 42%, average RR, let's say a 1.8 to 1, trades per month, let's say 8. Okay, this is sustainable. This right here is sustainable. Or 55% win rate, but then you're getting a 1-to-1 most likely. Okay, or maybe like 60%. And maybe you're taking, let's say, 16 trades per month. Maybe you're day trading / scalping. Okay, this is sustainable as well. But with a 75%, 4-to-1, 6 trades per month, this is not sustainable. You can have a cluster of good luck, you can have a great month, you can have great 2 months, but in the long run, you're not gonna be able to make money. Okay, it's gonna be very, very unsustainable. So I know that before big news like NFP, consolidation happens, and when there is a lot of wicks and no fair value gaps. I only backtest by scrolling and looking for my setup and risk reward, so not real backtesting. Yeah, so that's a problem right there. Okay, so first thing, lower the expectations. Something that you could hit is, let's say, a 2-to-1 risk to reward or reward to risk with, let's say, a 50% win rate. You should aim for that. Second thing, if you're trading a purely technical analysis strategy, you need to do a lot of backtesting, okay? And I mean extensive backtesting, both backtesting and forward testing as well. For backtesting, I would go back at least 1 year, okay? at least 1 year of backtesting. You can do it with the replay function. So let's say you're trading the 1 hour chart. You do this. You replay the price. And then you take a trade. Let's say you took a trade right here. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. You just backtest. And let's say it was a winner. Okay. So that is what you should do for backtesting. And you should do a minimum 1 year. Forward testing means during backtesting, you should also be taking trades in the live markets, but either on a demo account. Camera is frozen. Okay, sorry about that. Let me fix that quickly. Video captured. Add. Okay. We're back. So let me just also adjust it a little bit. No. Transform. Okay. So, hey Ivy, what's up? So, we were talking about, give me just 1 second, I need to fix something as well. Okay, lots of technical issues today. So, to finish up, lower the expectations. That's the first thing. Second thing, backtest at least the last 1 year. Third thing, start forward testing. Okay, either on a demo account or with a minimum lot size. NoFlow says I try to have tight stop losses like 4 to 5 pips. That's really small. That's really small. That's, I would personally say for retail traders, that's pretty low. I would try to have a bigger stop loss. Okay, minimum like 8 to 10 pips, because with 4 to 5 pips, you pay a lot in commissions. Spreads play a huge part, and your edge could just get eroded if you're having these very tight stop losses. So I would say 8 to 10 pips is kind of the minimum. So yeah, Evie, what's up? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Isal, M15 for, is it fair value gap? I don't personally know what a fair value gap is. I never really went into the whole ICT thing. I don't believe, I mean, I think you can make money with SMC and ICT and all of that stuff, but most people are not going to make any money. You know, most people are not going to make anything. The guy that actually invented the strategy doesn't trade at all. He made all of his money from courses. There's no track record. He never showed a track record. So I personally don't think it's the best strategy out there. I think there are a lot more efficient, a lot more simple, and a lot easier strategies. Than ICT. Ramalia trades. Hey Marco, do you still trade the Gorilla strategy? Yeah, I do. So we teach it in Zentum trading. I mean, it's a similar strategy to Gorilla. Okay, very similar. So meaning 1 hour chart, no indicators, no news, purely technical analysis, small stop loss, trailing stop loss. Win rate is a bit lower, like 20 to 30%. Average reward to risk is like a 4 to 1. Okay. So yeah, I have my watch list here. This is the technical strategy. So this is the Zentum strategy. Very similar to the Gorilla strategy. Right now, nothing is really forming. Okay. Except EJ. Also, okay, JPY pairs. Sorry about that. So basically EJ, I would be looking for buy setups. AJ looking for buy setups as well. This looks nice. NJ, nice as well. Is this a pullback candle? Damn, I totally missed this. So thank you for the reminder. I'm gonna put my flags, flags here. Yellow, yellow, yellow. So green flag means I'm in a trade. Yellow flag means I'm actively looking for an entry. Okay. So yeah, I would look for buy setups. This is the Gorilla strategy, or sorry, the Zentum strategy, but similar to the Gorilla strategy. I would look for a flag right here. I would look for a break and retest right here. NJ. I would look for a break and retest here as well. Okay. So no flow, what risk per trade do you recommend for prop firm trading on challenge phase? So this is the management that I personally recommend and that I personally use. So for phase 1, 1% per trade. Phase 2, 2%. Funded stage, I would say 0.5% to 1%. Okay, depending on how aggressive you want to be. I've started to increase my percentage for the funded stage. Okay, I used to do 0.5, but it takes a long amount of time to make any significant progress on the account. And again, it's a challenge account, it's a prop firm account, it's totally disposable, and you should treat it as a disposable account. So increasing your risk should not be a big issue. So right now I'm focusing more on risking somewhere between. So risking somewhere between 0.5 and 1% right here. Aivi says, are you overall satisfied with the fundamental strategy so far? How long do you think is enough for forward testing? A year perhaps? I would say for forward testing, 6 months is the minimum. A year would be great. A year would be amazing. So I have been live testing this strategy now for around 7 months, I would say. Yeah, around 7 months. I'm very happy, super happy. I think it's great. I currently have 2 trades. NJ is running some nice percentage right here. So around 3.4 to 1. Silver. Looking good as well, around 1.1 to 1. So yeah, I also took some losses. I took a loss on the DAX. Right there, took a loss. Took a loss on Bitcoin. Here, took a loss. Took a loss on the pound dollar as well. GBP USD. The win rate is around 40 to 50%. That's the realistic number here. So unfortunately, on some of these, I got taken out just before. So as you can see, I got taken out just before the price continued higher. It is what it is, part of the game. But the win rate around, I would say 42%, 45% is the average. Risk to reward is around 2 to 1, something like that. I also had some great winners on gold back at the beginning of the year. So here in February and in April. Yeah, I believe in February and April I took some really nice setups. I got long on gold right there and here, and I exploited this big uptrend. So that was great. And currently, if anyone is wondering, I'm trading 2 strategies. So I'm trading the Zentum strategy, which is the technical strategy. So purely 1 hour chart, purely technical analysis, okay? And I'm trading the fundamental strategy, which is fundamentals, macroeconomics, daily chart. So I'm looking at the daily chart and I'm looking at the 1 hour chart for actual entries. On silver, I took a liquidity sweep, which is another Zentum entry. So basically, the technical entries for both strategies The technical entries for both strategies are completely the same on the 1 hour chart. Are you still trading on demo, prop firm, or live personal account? I'm trading it live on my IC markets for, I think from February. I've been trading it on my IC markets with pretty much full risk. And on my prop firm accounts, I've been also trading it, but with a bit lower risk. Okay, so like maybe 0.25, 0.5%. And yeah, pretty much right now I'm fully live trading it with full risk on both my IC markets and on both my IC markets and my personal account. IC markets and my FTMO, Alpha Capital account, Darwin X account. So yeah, everything is getting full risk with this strategy. Okay, let me see quickly. And just as we were talking about Zentum trading, if any of you guys want to join Zentum for free, you can do so by going to Zentum. Here, you can join for free. Okay, so let me put the link as well in the chat. There's a link in the chat. Make sure you go and visit that. Completely free. You can see if you like it, and then you can become a paid member as well. Ivy says, good job, Marco. It seems like you have put in a good amount of work into it. Looking forward to hearing further on it with Zentum calls. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a great addition to the Zentum strategy. So the trade frequency is a bit higher. You're taking, I would say, a lot more trades per month. The win rate is a bit higher as well, meaning the win rate is around, as I mentioned, 42 to 45%. And it's not that hard. It's not that complicated. Universe wants to see gold. Okay, sure. So yeah, this new strategy is not that complicated. I am currently working on a video series for Zentum. So we're going to present this strategy to our Zentum traders with a full course structured around it. So I'm looking to develop that. Filming stuff, developing stuff, and then it should be live. Well, probably at the end of the summer. So I'm aiming to have this strategy fully operational, fully presented inside of Zentum Trading by the end of the summer. So I'm very excited for that. And stay tuned. Join the free Discord if you want to keep up to date. Universe, what time frame do you usually use? Well, I have two strategies. I have the first technical strategy, purely 1 hour chart. I have the second fundamental strategy. I use the daily chart, 4 hour chart, and the 1 hour chart. Okay, so I use 3 time frames for the second strategy and just 1 time frame for the first strategy. So let's take a look at gold once again. Gold, I'm actually looking for buy setups. I think gold is very bullish. It's in a big uptrend. Just check something. Okay. So gold is in a big uptrend, respecting the trend line quite nicely, you can see. Fundamentals are a bit neutral. I checked the edge finder. We can take a look at the edge finder. So gold, yeah, a bit neutral. But if you want a hedge against, let's say, your risk on positions, so I have a risk on position on the New Zealand yen. That is definitely a risk on position. I'm looking for buy setups on the Nasdaq. I'm looking for buy setups on the DAX, which is the German stock market. So as a hedge, if something goes wrong, if there is tariff drama, if there is an escalation between Israel and Iran, so if something happens in terms of geopolitics, well then, I would like to have some gold. Because gold is a great... Let me turn off the AC as well. Gold is a great risk-off asset, you know? Let me give you an example. If you were in the S&P, during this time, you would have been dead, right? You would have been cooked. You would probably have sold all of your positions here because I saw that a lot of fund managers sold a lot of their stocks right on the bottom, okay? But if you had some gold at this time, we can also do this replay. So in this same period, gold was exploding up, right? Gold was going higher. And that is because gold is a great risk-off asset. So it gives you a lot of protection if something happens in the world. Okay? That's why I'm looking for entries right now. I think it would be a good addition to my portfolio. I think it would offer nice protection for my portfolio because I also have an investment in the S&P 500, okay, a very long-term investment. Like I'm looking to hold for at least 10 to 20 years. So this would be a good hedge. In terms of entries, I was looking for an entry right here. I was looking for a break and retest at this point, either to this level. So we can put it like this, either to this level or a bit lower. Okay. Didn't happen. Price went up without me. Then again, I was looking for a break and retest right here. So I had my buy limit on the inside bar. This is kind of the same as the first Zentum strategy. Again, the technical entries on the 1 hour chart are completely the same. But they can be a lot less clean for the second strategy than for the first one. Because with the second strategy, the most important part for me personally, the most important part is the fundamental analysis and the macroeconomic analysis. So I was looking for an entry. I had a buy limit set. Didn't happen. We broke the high and we retraced. Right now, there was a big sell-off. Of course, this was NFP. So non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate. The dollar gained a lot of value, which means, so when dollar gains a lot of value, gold goes down. Okay, gold goes down in value. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys have any more questions, definitely put them in the chat. I have my chat open on the side, and yeah, I'm monitoring that. In terms of other setups, well, euro dollar, I'm looking for a buy entry here. At this level. I would like to get in at this level. Right now we're a bit overextended. We're a bit too high. And if you go to the Edge Finder and you look at the fundamentals, by the way, the link to the Edge Finder is in the description of the stream. There's a discount code as well. I think right now you can get 40% off on this software. Okay, so I think for July there's a 40% discount using my link. All of the information is in the description. Euro dollar bullish. See, if you go also to the economic heat map, Europe, you can see Europe. The euro is a little bit bullish. Stocks are very, very bullish, right? Stocks are getting a very bullish reading. Most of the data that's coming out is actually coming out better than expected for the EU stock market. Also, you could say the DAX, okay, which is the German stock market. So I would like to get a little bit of a pullback. 20 EMA is a nice indicator that tells me we are a bit overextended. Okay, we are a bit too far away from 20 EMA. So I want to see it go down a little bit. I want to see a bit of a pullback. The DAX is a different story. Okay, for the DAX, this is the German stock market. Fundamentals are great. Fundamentals are looking bullish. And we had a huge uptrend on the daily. You know, we had an uptrend. I'm betting that this uptrend continues. I would like to place a buy order. I was not looking to buy at this point, but when we went a bit lower, when we did actually pull back, I did get in here. Let me see which entry was that. It was a break and retest entry. It was a loss, unfortunately. Okay, so unfortunately this was a loss. If it wasn't a loss, I would have been running some positive percentage, but it is what it is, part of the game. Hide that. Oh no. So I'm actually looking for setups right now. So let's put a, yeah. I'm looking for setups right now on the DAX. I like this price level. I don't think we are overextended. If we can go up a little bit more, like this, give me an entry, I would be pretty happy to get in. Let's put an alert right there. Let's put one here. If we do go lower, it can happen as well. You know, we can go both ways. If we do go lower, I'll look for entries a bit lower. Then I'm getting in at an even better risk to reward. Because let's say I get in higher and I aim for the highs, like you can have a first take profit on the highs, your stop loss goes below the swing low, well then your risk to reward with this sort of a play is only 1.1. But if you get in lower, like this, it goes to 4.5, right? And there is a very high chance that we will hit the all-time highs. A very high chance, you know. The chance that we will actually break them and go up is a bit lower. But the chance that we will at least retest the highs is very high if you can position yourself correctly. Okay. So yeah, that's why I was kind of aiming for the all-time highs. So that's it for the DAX. Let's see the JPY pairs in terms of the sentiment strategy. No real movement. Okay, we are continuing. Let me set an alert on my phone. Let's do that. JPY pairs. Okay, so nice. Continuing up with some decent momentum. If we can get a clean close on the top, it would be pretty high probability to take a buy setup. EJ could also form a flag formation. If you guys don't know, a flag formation is a formation that looks like this. It has first high, first low, second high, second low, and then a bullish entry candle. Okay, if I can find the flag, let's try to find the flag. Here's one. Yeah, this is a flag. Oh, sorry. Here. That's a flag. This is one of the entries that I use to get in on the 1 hour chart. So first high, first low, second high, second low. And the blue candle is the actual entry candle. So JPY pairs look interesting. In terms of some other stuff, well, the S&P is pretty much the same as the Nasdaq. I don't think I'm gonna waste too much time looking at the S&P. US 30, the Dow Jones is already at the all-time highs, so I'm not really looking to trade that. Nikkei, Japanese stock market, looks interesting. I think it's getting a very bullish fundamental reading. Let's see that. Let's see, Nikkei. Yeah, bullish. Let's look at the Japanese economy. Most of the numbers are coming in bullish. Actually, 75% of the numbers are coming in bullish. That's great. That's definitely great. So am I looking for buy setups? Not really. I want to focus on some other things. I don't know a lot about the Nikkei. I would much prefer to get in the Nasdaq, the DAX, the Russell as well, considering some buy setups on the Russell. Platinum, damn, platinum had an explosion up. This is pretty interesting. So platinum, I don't really pay attention to this one. In terms of metals, I only look at gold and silver, okay? But platinum had a huge explosion up. Let me see in terms of the fundamentals. Let's see. Platinum. Neutral. Let's see the history. Platinum. Yeah, neutral. Pretty much neutral. Okay. Let's look at. Okay, we were getting a pretty bullish reading back in 31st of May. 31st of May. Okay, interesting. But anyway, big explosion. I don't know why. I don't follow this closely. Up around 47% to the high. I'm not trading this. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Yeah, some pretty clean formations in terms of an uptrend. Kind of wiki price action. Interesting to see. Interesting to see platinum. So yeah, if you guys have any chart requests or questions, you can put it in the chat. So don't be shy. I have the chat open, so if you want to hear about anything, definitely let me know. Because I will be wrapping up the stream pretty soon. Okay, in around, I would say 2 to 3 minutes, I will have to wrap it up. So any final questions, any final chart requests, I'm all ears. So copper, just flat and corrective, doesn't look so interesting. Bitcoin pushing up. I had a buy trade, got taken out. Unfortunately, this was when Israel attacked Iran, and then there was a massive risk-off environment. Got taken out. Now we are continuing higher, so we are kind of continuing to the upside. And yeah, is it really bullish? No. In terms of the fundamentals, Bitcoin neutral, not that great. I would look for a breakout, to be honest. Breakout of the highs. We are now just flat. In my opinion, we are now just super flat. We could range around here and consolidate for months. You know, this could be going on for months. I would look for a breakout, and then I would be very interested in some buy setups. I do hold some Bitcoin as a long-term investment though, so we will see what will happen with that. Ivy says, so do you trade any instrument that shows buys or sells on Edgefinder, and as long as you get an entry? Pretty much. If there is a very bullish or a very bearish reading, I'll be pretty interested to get in. But I do have a preference. I trade most US indices, which means the Nasdaq, the Russell, S&P, US 30. I trade in terms of metals, gold, silver, okay, gold and silver. In terms of the European stock market, I like the DAX. And in terms of currencies, I trade pretty much everything, okay? So I trade pretty much anything in terms of currencies. EU, GU, EJ, NJ. If there's a currency that is very, very bullish or bearish on the Edgefinder, you can view that here. See? This gives you a consolidated view of every currency. Right now, New Zealand dollar is a great buy and the yen is a sell. Aussie is a sell, CAD is a sell, pound is a sell, right? Euro is neutral, US dollar is neutral. But what you want to do is you want to buy the New Zealand and you want to sell the yen or sell the Aussie. So your trade would be NJ long, right? New Zealand long would be your fundamental setup trade. Okay. And I also do a little bit of macroeconomic analysis. You know, I try to see what's going on in the world. I use the Financial Juice website, which is right here, breaking news. And then you can, what is this, market moving? Then you can see what's going on, okay? Let's see. Forex. You get all of the news. If it's red, it usually has some sort of an impact, okay? So, you want to stay up to date with the news. You want to see what's going on. If there is a massive crisis going on, if Israel attacks Iran, you don't really want to sell oil, for example, because look at what happened with oil. You don't really want to buy you want to buy the stock market, but you want to be a little bit careful because stocks could sell off. You don't want to buy or you don't want to sell the dollar if that happens, because the dollar can go up during a war abroad, okay? Dollar usually goes up. Whoop. So hopefully that answers your question. Takoyaki says, if I were to reset my learning in trading, where would you suggest I start? Learning to trade gold, currencies, and silver. I think my current setup needs improvement. You're more leaning to trade gold and currencies and silver. Well, I would say, if you want to start for free, take a look at Trader Nick. Okay, take a look at Trader Nick. Trader Nick has a lot of free stuff, a lot of free videos. He built the Edge Finder, and he actually has a video of his trading strategy. It lasts for 1 hour. He does an exact breakdown of how he trades the markets. And it is very similar to what I'm doing with the fundamental strategy. Very similar strategies. Okay, so check out Trader Nick, search Trader Nick, my trading strategy, and then you will see the way he trades. I think you're gonna like that. Okay, I think you're gonna like that approach. What you can also do is you can join Zentum Trading for free. You can check it out, see if you like it. Check out my YouTube channel for some videos of the strategy. And as I mentioned, this fundamental strategy should be rolled out in terms of a course by the end of the summer. Okay, so my goal is to make all of the educational videos and set up everything so that the fundamental strategy is live in Zentum Trading and that you can learn everything about it. Now in Zentum Trading, we teach the technical strategy, and that is 6 currency pairs, 1 hour chart, purely price action. So my main suggestion would be check out Trader Nick. Okay, Trader Nick strategy. It's absolutely free. And Kundai, what would be your advice to a profitable day trader trying to switch to a swing strategy? Same thing, Trader Nick trading strategy, okay? Or you can go to Zentum Trading. But Trader Nick has a really swing trading strategy, meaning on the daily chart, you know. So it's a complete swing trading strategy because he's mainly looking at the daily chart. So it only takes 1 to 2 hours per day to do the analysis, monitor your positions, create a watch list, create the forecast, take trades, trail your stop losses, and that's it. 1 to 2 hours per day. So yeah, also check out Trader Nick, look at his strategy. I think that is the right approach. I think that's the best that you can do because it's free and you're gonna see if you like it. Maybe you don't like it. Okay, so let me see if I missed anything. Any last minute questions? You can put them in the chat because I'm gonna wrap up the stream. 10-year yield, Going up, this is not so great. This means the US needs to repay the debt at a higher price, okay? Because a lot of the US is in debt to a lot of countries, and the US debt is climbing higher. They need to repay the debt at a specific interest rate. That interest rate is currently going up a little bit. So they need to repay even more debt than they would if this thing went down, okay? So the main goal of the US is probably to get this lower, you know, to get this to go lower. That should make the debt a bit cheaper to repay. So this is interesting to see. VIX is going lower. I mean, that's about it. We covered pretty much everything. You know, my two main instruments for today, just a quick summary. NJ, I'm in a buy trade, looking great. I'm trailing my stop loss. I'm actually gonna trail it right now, probably. We broke the high on the daily chart. Yeah, I may need to trail it to this level. So NJ, silver is another one. I'm in a buy setup, looking pretty healthy. Gold, actively looking for buy setups. DAX, actively looking for buy setups. That's about it. So to wrap up the stream, if you guys wanna join Zentum Trading, I'm gonna put in the link one more time. Let me see this. Copy. Okay, something went wrong, but there is a link in the chat. There's a link in the description. You can join for free. If you want to get updates of when I'm live streaming, I do all of the updates on... Second. How can I get the... Okay, something is not working on my end. You can get all of the updates on my Instagram account. Okay, my Instagram account is Marcos Trading Journey. Okay, no spaces. You can find all of the information in the description of this live stream. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next week on Thursday.